Live from Southwest Florida's news source, this is Fox 4 News at 6.
Now at 6, a Southwest Florida school teacher under investigation. Why she says she's the victim of a witch hunt. Plus, partying with your tax dollars. Why a weekend of fun for the Lee County Sheriff's Department has some of you looking for an explanation. And a plea for help. A Southwest Florida family pushes for change to prevent their daughter from walking by a sex predator's house on the way home from school. We've got all that and more coming up tonight, but first we're following breaking news out of Naples. The Florida Wildlife Commission investigating a fatal boat rollover right near Everglades Boulevard and 34th Avenue. 4 people were on the boat at the time. 1 has been confirmed dead. 1 is missing. The other 2 are said to be okay tonight. Our 4 Reporter's Katie Jones is live on the scene, and she's joining us by phone with the very latest. Katie, what can you tell us so far?
Well, Emily, we just recently confirmed that now 2 people are confirmed dead. According to FWC, 4 boaters were riding in a canal near 34th Avenue and Everglades Boulevard. That's in Golden Gate Estates. When the boat somehow rolled over, again, 2 passengers are now confirmed dead. The other 2 that were on board are okay. There was a dive team out here searching for the other missing passenger who his body was just retrieved just literally seconds ago. FWC still can't confirm how this boat flipped over. It is still under investigation, but we'll of course keep you updated with any new information as we get it. But again, 2 people are now confirmed dead. We're live in Collier County. Katie Jones, Fox 4 in your corner.
We are now checking out the scene from Storm Patrol Viper radar. Heavy thunderstorms rolling through parts of Southwest Florida this evening. Our Storm Patrol's Jim Sine has your first check of the weather. Jim.
Well, we're using the power of 4 right now because there's a lot of tropical moisture out there that's going to be in place through the evening. Let's take a look at Southwest Florida right now. We're actually seeing a bit of a drying trend here over the last couple of hours. The showers that were in place for much of the afternoon have really weakened here in the last 45 minutes or so. Still, we have a persistent rain right in the heart of Lee County. It seems like that rain just right on top of the Caloosahatchee. We'll take a closer look. This is extremely light rain now. The shower will dissipate, rain itself out, I think, by about 8 o'clock. And then after that, we should be in for a mainly dry and fairly quiet evening. The clouds will stay in place and the temperatures obviously have cooled off because of the rain. So as far as our weather headlines go, we have an umbrella check for you because I think we're going to be a little bit on the wet side a couple of days this week. I'll show you when it's going to be the wettest coming up in just a minute. 2 systems that we're tracking in the tropics and some changes coming as we get closer to the weekend. We'll have it all for you coming up here shortly.
All right, thank you, Jim. Anytime you see weather happening, please snap a picture and send it our way so we can share it on air. Send it to Storm Patrol at fox4now.com. An active manhunt in southeast Washington, D.C., after an assault on a military base. At least 12 people are confirmed dead and several others have been wounded, while one suspected gunman, identified as 34-year-old Aaron Alexis, is said to be among the dead. Authorities still searching for another possible shooter tonight. Fox News correspondent Craig Boswell has the very latest.
Still a fluid situation and a large-scale search that police say could take hours here in southeast D.C., just blocks away from a mass shooting at the Navy Yard.
It was like pow, pow, pow. And then in a few seconds it stopped, and then it pow, 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 pow. So we just ran.
People were pushing, people were shoving, people were falling down. After we came outside, people were climbing the wall.
The people who buy and maintain the Navy's fleet at the Naval Sea Systems Command running from their offices just after 8:30 Monday morning. Witnesses reported seeing a gunman in different locations.
He was down the hall far enough that we couldn't see a face, but we saw him hold the rifle, then we saw him raise it and aim it in our direction.
I was this far away. I heard the gunshot and I looked down, he was laying in front of me.
More than 3,000 people work at the Navy Command just blocks away from Capitol Hill. SWAT teams swarmed the streets within minutes. Helicopters appeared to be lifting victims from the building's roof.
We are still doing an extensive search. This is a large base. We've got multiple agencies and multiple teams. The remainder of this search could take another couple of hours.
About 3 miles from the military installation, President Obama highlighted his concern during a planned speech on the economy.
We are confronting yet another mass shooting. They're patriots, and they know the dangers of serving abroad, but today they face the unimaginable violence that they wouldn't have expected here at home.
Spoke to a gentleman inside Building 197. He said they were hunkered down. They were texting one another, trying to stay calm. They heard more gunfire, then looked up and saw bullet holes in the wall. Some of those people are just now being released from that building. In an area here where people live and work, it remains on lockdown, and tonight's Nats game at the stadium, which is just a block or so away, has now been canceled for tonight. In Washington, Craig Boswell, Fox News.
This mass shooting in Washington, D.C. is only the latest of several that have occurred across the country in just the last few years. 27 children and school employees were killed this past December in the Sandy Hook shooting spree in Newtown, Connecticut. In August of 2012, a man opened fire in a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, killing 6 people and wounding 4 others. Just 1 month prior, 12 people were killed and several others injured in Aurora, Colorado, after James Holmes opened fire inside a movie theater. Then in early 2011, a man opened fire in a supermarket parking lot in Tucson, Arizona, killing 6 people and injuring 19 others, including former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. In 2009, a former Army psychiatrist opened fire at Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas, killing 13 people and wounding more than 30 others. You can find all the latest developments in the Washington, D.C. shooting on our webpage throughout the evening. That's at fox4now.com. The man found guilty of attempting to kill a Cape Coral officer last month, learning his fate today inside a Lee County courtroom. As 4 Corners' Julie Salamone shows you, Yusel Rivera faces life in prison.
Cape Coral officer David Wagoner spoke before a Lee County judge on Monday. The man who tried to kill him sat just feet away.
Yusel Rivera attempted to kill me and take away from me all that I love in this world.
Officer Wagoner said in court the night he was shot during a traffic stop in 2011, he feared dying, leaving behind his family and children. The family suffered financial strain. His wife has nightmares and flashbacks.
This man's one decision had immense negative impacts on me, my wife, and our children.
A jury found Yusel Rivera guilty in August for attempting to kill Officer Wagoner during a traffic stop in April 2011. Dashcam video isn't easy to watch and shows Officer Wagoner falling to the ground. Rivera finally faced his fate this morning.
I sentence you to a mandatory life sentence. Mandatory means there is no possibility of any release.
Officer Wagoner ended his victim impact statement saying Rivera didn't succeed the night of the shooting.
Mr. Rivera's selfish and heinous act did not accomplish his goals to take my life.
Gabrielle Saran, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, the defense tried to file a motion before sentencing saying life in prison is unconstitutional because Rivera has the mental state of a child. The judge denied that motion. The defense will likely appeal. We'll keep you posted. An Oasis middle school teacher whose husband was arrested for bringing guns on campus is now speaking out. She's responding to allegations that she broke school policy. 4 Corners' Warren Wright is telling us why the teacher says she's the victim of a witch hunt.
Shay Pearson loves being a teacher, but she says a school policy is being unfairly twisted to persecute her. And tonight, she's speaking out, along with the school president of the parent-teacher organization.
There's probably a lot of things I could do employment-wise, but I loved being there with the students. I loved being there with my own children. My own children go to school there.
Shay Pearson has been reduced to tears, afraid of her soon-to-be ex-husband who's now in jail. She's unable to go back to school and teach because she's also under investigation because she allowed this man, Justin Marquez, a convicted felon, into her school to help with a fundraiser for the parent-teacher organization. Pearson says Marquez is a friend of a friend who never told her he was a felon when he offered to pass out flyers and move furniture in her classroom the week before school started.
When I become friends with people, I don't generally do a background check on them.
Marquez then presented her with a form to be notarized to document the volunteer hours for what he said was a traffic citation.
They had the report where it was notarized as
Correct.
well. Is that normal?
I've never done it before. I went to my PTO president and asked her if it was something we were allowed to do, and she said we're not, a nonprofit, and that volunteer hours are volunteer hours, and she didn't see why not, but I could go ahead and write the letter.
The PTO president said she was grateful for the help while school was not in session.
We needed the help to get the flyers out there. I work a full-time job. Shay was working. We needed the help. Let's get it done.
But now Pearson is on paid administrative leave as the school investigates whether she broke policy by allowing a felon onto school grounds, even though school was not in session.
In my mind, if a policy was violated, then it doesn't, the piece of whether children, were there or not is not what the issue is.
Pearson says she hasn't violated any policy and can't understand why she's being investigated.
In order to volunteer with a student, yes, there's supposed to be a background check. That's my understanding.
Okay, but not in relation to when school's out?
Not when school's out, no.
Pearson's attorney says some parents are afraid of Shay's husband, but it would be easier to just get rid of Shay herself.
She would have never brought him on campus with kids without following the protocol. So what she did was not wrong. The problem is the school is now on a witch hunt because her husband engaged in criminal misconduct.
Shay Pearson has been on administrative leave for the past week. We'll keep you posted on the continuing investigation with the school district. Warren Wright, Fox 4, in your corner.
Fox 4, your hurricane season leader, bringing you daily detailed updates as far as what's going on in the tropics. We have in the open waters Tropical Storm Umberto and then Tropical Depression Ingrid. Been downgraded to a tropical depression. Big area cloudiness that looks pretty interesting here as it's making its way into Mexico. A lot of heavy rains associated with Ingrid. And then Umberto, which we'll watch through the rest of this week. It's moving to the north. This is what we sometimes call a fish storm. Only going to affect the fish in the open waters. Even though it may get a little bit stronger here over the next couple of days, not going to be any sort of a factor. Ingrid, though, is a factor for Mexico, bringing heavy rains, and that'll be the case not only through today, but likely through midweek. Other than that, tropics right now officially quiet.
Partying with your tax dollars, the Lee County Sheriff using official vehicles for entertainment. Why he says it's not what it's cracked up to be. Post-pageant turmoil, thousands are taking to social media bashing the newest Miss America. The controversial reason several viewers are in such an uproar tonight. But first, predator problems. A Southwest Florida mom afraid for her daughter's safety, wondering why her bus stop is right around the corner from a sexual predator. Fox 4 working to get her answers. Next.
After a wet day, we're seeing those showers dissipate on Storm Patrol Viper, but the rain making a comeback later this week. I'll tell you when it looks the wettest coming up.